Hello there, welcome to Blitz Transmissions. I'm Tommy, and in this video we're doing yet another predictions video for the latest Hasbro panel at the latest Comic-Con. This time around, Hasbro will be present doing a brief panel covering most of the brands that they cover at MCM Comic-Con London. By the time this video comes out, there will be about 24 hours before that panel takes place. I don't know that it's being streamed by Hasbro Pulse, but what I do know is that I will be streaming here on Blitz Transmissions with my friends Hybrid Toy Reviews and Fig Fury. We'll be having a good time bright and early in the morning. We'll be like your early talk show radio hosts for the reveals, covering all the info as it comes out. Now, what we do know about MCM London is that Hasbro's panel is going to cover Star Wars, Marvel, G.I. Joe, and Transformers all within 50 minutes. So that being their allotted time for their panel, I don't expect a lot of stuff to get revealed at this particular event. That said, I do predict some sort of Star Wars reveal to happen for either the Vintage Collection or the Black Series, so let's talk about it. Of course, we'll start off with Black Series. You can see behind me here that I am a huge Black Series collector, so I am going to be giving some educated guesses as well as my usual wildcard picks. So most of my predictions for MCM London for Black Series are going to be coming from something they showed at New York Comic-Con 2025 earlier this month. They did tease these lightsaber swoosh effect blades and said that this will come out as 4 different characters. You can see here in the picture we have 2 blue swoosh effects, we have 1 green one, and then 2 red ones that are meant to be some sort of double-bladed lightsaber character. Assuming that one of these blue swoosh effects is the Kyle Katarn figure that was also shown at New York Comic-Con, we're left with 1 green, 1 blue, and whatever character has that double-bladed red. So I've got a couple different directions that these predictions could go. The first one is going to be leaning into Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. So we have the green swoosh effect and we have the blue swoosh effect. Now, we did see earlier this month the New York Comic-Con 2025 Black Series exclusive item was a Darth Sidious and Mace Windu 2-pack from the Palpatine arrest scene. We also had Kit Fisto re-released in the Black Series on a Revenge of the Sith retro-style card back as a Walmart exclusive here in the US, and we have 2 characters left in that scene that have not yet been made ever in the Black Series. One of them being Saesee Tiin, who does wield a green lightsaber, and the other being Aegon Kolar, who wields a blue lightsaber. I think getting these 2 characters would be great to complete the scene that we have been building out this entire year with Kit Fisto and now Mace Windu and the scene-specific outfit for the Palpatine here. So I think it would be great to round this scene out, get Saesee Tiin and Aegon Kolar out into the line. I would love to see these done with some new tooling, maybe some of the tooling from the Acolyte Jedi figures, which are amazing figures, by the way. Hopefully we see that. I will be disappointed if these exhibit some of the older articulation like the Mace Windu and the Kit Fisto have. However, I will be hopeful with this prediction that both of these figures will have some new tooling. Another prediction, another direction that this could possibly go with our green swoosh effect and our blue swoosh effect here are from Star Wars animation. It's no secret the Clone Wars and Rebels are incredibly popular in the Star Wars fandom. Many people like myself who grew up with the Clone Wars are chomping at the bit for anything Clone Wars they can sink their teeth into. So taking a look at that green swoosh effect, this could also be Jedi Knight Quinlan Vos. Quinlan Vos was a character that originated from the Dark Horse comics back in the days of the prequel trilogy. He technically is in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, in a background scene on Tatooine, and he gets a full story arc in the Clone Wars animated show. Quinlan Vos was also recently seen in the Tales of the Underworld after the events of the Dark Disciple book, which is a very good book. I highly recommend reading that in your spare time, and I think he's an awesome character. He was one that I would absolutely pick up, just like Saesee Tiin and Aegon Kolar, so I would love to see this character be the one who has the green swoosh effect. As for the blue swoosh effect, I think it's about time we get the long-rumored Kanan Jarrus in his Rebels Season 3 and 4 look. Kanan's got his awesome blinded look. I hope they would do some updated tooling from the original costume. I know he does look a little bit different in Seasons 3 and 4 than Seasons 1 and 2, so I hope that they would give a little bit of new tooling. They don't have to do the whole figure over again, but I do hope that they do a little bit of new just to make that figure feel special. That's another figure figure that I would absolutely pick up, and I think that it would be really great if Hasbro did release him. Again, he's been rumored for a really long time from yakface.com, so I hope to see him sooner rather than later. Now, as for the red double-bladed saber swoosh effects here, I think that the most obvious one here would be that this means a new Inquisitor is coming to the Black Series line. At this point in time, the only Inquisitors we have in the Black Series are the ones from Obi-Wan Kenobi or the Second Sister and Cal Kestis Inquisitor look from Jedi Fallen Order. I think it would be really smart of Hasbro to drop a new Inquisitor. I think the most likely of them would be the 11th brother who showed up in the Tales of the Jedi series. This is the one that Ahsoka kills in order to get her purified white lightsaber crystals for her white lightsaber blades we see her have in Star Wars Rebels. Keeping theme with Star Wars Rebels, which would be a smart idea if my prediction of the Kanan Jarrus figure does come true, I would love to see the 7th sister or the 8th brother, who are both from Star Wars Rebels, released in the Black Series. The Inquisitors have such a great way of having a very uniform Imperial look while also being very different and immediately identifiable from one another, and I think that the more of them they release, the better. And then of course, this one's a little bit of a pipe dream, but I think it would be a huge jaw-dropping reveal if Hasbro dropped one of the most wanted Black Series figures of all time, the 9th Sister. The 9th Sister shows up in both Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. She is the same species as Grumgar from The Force Awakens, and a giant big fig like this would be super cool to get in the Black Series and would knock people off their feet. I would imagine this particular release would have to be some sort of made-to-order item just because of how large the character is. Definitely wouldn't fit the bill, be far too large for what the Black Series considers a deluxe figure, so we'll have to see how that works out. A couple other predictions that I don't really have any educated guess for, I just want to throw them out there, are Carson Teva. We do know he's coming to the Black Series at some point. However, I think it'd be really cool to get him out sooner rather than later, especially with the Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming out in May. I said it on my last predictions video, I'll say it again on this one. Carson Teva is easily one of the biggest holes in the Black Series for the Mandoverse. He shows up in multiple shows now, especially being a larger supporting character in the Ahsoka series, so I would love to see Carson Teva in the Black Series. Throwing out another one here, last year at MCM London, we did get the reveal of Sebulba, a brand new alien in the Black Series alongside Shakti and Luminara Unduli. So I'm going to go ahead and use that precedent and say, you know, it'd be really cool if we got another unique alien from the Phantom Menace, being Watto. I think Hasbro would do a really good job with Watto. I would love to see how they execute his wings, and I would really hope that he comes with a flight stand. He's a character that a lot of people have been asking for in the line, so he's one that I think Hasbro should jump on sooner rather than later. And finally, I say it every single time, one of these days I hope I get it right because they're my wild card picks for every single stream. I gotta give them to you. First one being Pong Krell. I have to say Pong Krell every time. This is gonna be the dead horse that I beat on Blitz Transmissions till it finally happens. Another big fig, another one that probably would end up being made to order. Honestly, it would probably be like 60 or 70 bucks all said and done, but he's just a character that would tower over the rest of your figures on your shelf on your display, and I think he'd be a great addition to the collection. And of course, my most wanted Black Series figure. You already know what I'm gonna say if you know the channel. It's Dirge. Give me Dirge in his Dark Horse Comics look. I'll say it again because I've said it a million times. Give me as many accessories as possible. Give me a swoop bike like he had in the 03 Clone Wars series, or just remake the swoop bike from his original figure back in 2003 and blow up that design and make him look as cool as possible. I would be in on anything Dirge, so I have to say it, that's a wild card pick for me. Moving on to the vintage collection, we did get a tease earlier this month at New York Comic Con that there would be more vintage collection reveals throughout the month of October. Now, while I don't know if there are going to be any vintage collection reveals for MCM London, there are going to be some predictions I throw out just in case they give us a bone. My first few predictions here are coming from the Battle of Geonosis campaign. At New York Comic Con, we got Shakti and Padme, and suspiciously those pre-orders were pushed back to October 28th, which, if you think about it, is the Tuesday following MCM London. This would lead me to believe that we'll get one or maybe two reveals for the vintage collection, and I would love to see them be a part of the Battle of Geonosis campaign. The first one that I'm going to predict here is going to be a new single-carded clone trooper in the Phase 1 look from Attack of the Clones. We did get confirmed by Mr. Stevie during the Vintage Collection HasLab Republic Gunship campaign that a new Phase 1 clone trooper was going to be coming out in the line, and that new clone trooper will be very similar similar to this one you see right here, where we do not have the removable helmet anymore, and we have a helmet that's much more proportionate to the actual figure. That is a figure that I would unironically order over 100 of over the course of now and when the Republic gunships come out. If you guys know me, you know how obsessed I was with the Republic gunship campaign. You guys know how many gunships I ended up getting, so because of that, I think it would be great to have lots and lots of clones to build out dioramas and displays with. This newest clone trooper from the Vintage Collection is the best looking and best functioning clone trooper out of any action figure scale or action figure line right now. I've said it, sue me, but I have to say, TVC is winning right now when it comes to clone troopers. So with that, I do hope that the Phase 1 clone does get revealed at MCM London. Keeping with the Battle of Geonosis theme, I am going to predict another troop builder, but not for the Republic. This time, it's going to be a Geonosian warrior. Being the Battle of Geonosis, we see Geonosians in the Clone Wars show, and we also see them in Attack of the Clones for both the first and second battles of Geonosis. They play a critical role in the battle. And with them being so prominent, I think it would make a lot of sense for Hasbro to give us a new Vintage Collection Geonosian. I really liked the animated Clone Wars Geonosians from when I was a kid, back when that line was coming out, and I think Hasbro would do a really great job with how good quality TVC has when it comes to their figures and give us a really nice Geonosian. This is another figure that I would absolutely troop build, again, to build out displays and dioramas with my gunships, so I would absolutely be all over this one. Because the Vintage Collection reveals for New York Comic Con were so light, I think it would be cool to throw TVC a bone and give us something bigger for the Battle of Geonosis campaign at MCM London, and with that, I'm going to predict a vehicle that would coincide with the Republic gunship. My prediction here is going to be nothing but the Bark Speeder. The Bark Speeder can fit inside the Republic gunship, at least previous versions of the Bark Speeder did. I'd be interested to see how Hasbro executes a new version of this, and I would imagine they would put this as a Gaming Greats Battlefront 2 look, because in Battlefront 2 2017, the Battle of Geonosis was an entire content drop. They spent months developing that map, spent months developing additional characters and reinforcements to go with it, and in the gameplay trailer for that initial reveal, they did have the Bark Speeder have its own highlight. All the semantics about what media this would be advertised as being from, I think the Bark Speeder would be a really cool big reveal that would have a lot of TVC fans excited. Moving on to the now retired campaign, now we're into Battle of Geonosis, but before that, Hasbro was in the Return to Tatooine era. And a couple months ago, the Hasbro team did tease a Cantina Patron 4-pack. I think this would be another great one to get out now that people have their cantinas in hand. They're getting all of their Return to Tatooine products in hand and building out their displays and dioramas for the previous HasLab. I think it would be great to give us 4 patrons, 4 unique characters, so that collectors can continue to get excited for and build out that display of the cantina. A couple other highly requested characters for the Vintage Collection that I'm going to go ahead and predict, because we know they're coming at some point per yakface.com. First one is going to be the Stranger. I did recently just open and review the Black Series version of the Stranger, and he's easily one of my favorite Black Series figures of 2025. So with that being such an amazing figure, I think TVC needs to hurry up and get their version out. Speaking of highly requested figures, I think it's time for me to beat another dead horse in this video and talk about how we need to finish Clone Force 99. So Hasbro, just get them out, do them in a 3-pack, do them however you need to do so we can get them all at once. Get Tech, Wrecker, and Echo in their Season 1 Bad Batch looks out into the line so that I can have them alongside Hunter and Crosshair and load them up into a Republic gunship next year. As for my wildcard picks, you're going to be totally shocked to hear that one of them is going to be Pong Krell. Just as much as I want Pong Krell in the Black Series, I want him equally as much in the Vintage Collection, especially now that the Republic gunship is coming for sure. Pong Krell's first appearance on screen is him stepping off a Republic gunship on Umbara to talk to Anakin and Captain Rex, so I think it would be really cool to get him out into the line. And my other wildcard pick for the Vintage Collection, I'm sure you're going to be shocked once again to hear that it's Dirge. Dirge is my most wanted figure for both Black Series and for Vintage Collection. I do own the 2003 Star Wars Saga Separatist Special Forces Dirge and Swoop Bike set that I did talk about earlier in the video, and while this is an amazingly detailed, very nice release, I do think it deserves an update, and TVC is the line to give it that justice. So with that, guys, those are my predictions for MCM London for both Black Series and the Vintage Collection. Again, I don't think there's going to be too much much revealed because they're cramming so much into 50 minutes here, covering 4 brands in those 50 minutes. So unless it's just rapid fire reveal for 50 minutes straight, which would be really cool and knock our socks off, my expectation is that there's only going to be maybe a handful of reveals, maybe 2 or 3 Black Series, maybe 1 or 2 Vintage Collection. Make sure to let me know what your predictions are for MCM London, for the Black Series and or the Vintage Collection. We'll talk about it in the comments down below. Again, make sure to tune in for my live stream, which we'll be recording bright and early here in the United States, where myself and my friends, Hybrid Toy Reviews and Fig Fury, will be covering everything live. But with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did and you're not yet subscribed, subscribe to Blitz Transmissions. I've got awesome Star Wars content coming out all the time. If you're an ARC Trooper in my Patreon, you would have seen this video early. If you'd like access to early content, monthly giveaways, or other awesome benefits, the link to my Patreon is in the description below. Become an ARC Trooper for just $4.99 a month. If you're a fan of the reviews I do here on YouTube, or you just want to support the YouTube channel more directly, you could also check out my YouTube channel membership, Rancor Battalion. For just 99 cents a month, you get exclusive badges and priority replies in my comment section. You get access to all my reviews early as opposed to all my content like you get with Patreon, and you get to vote on what I review next for the channel, just like the Patreon members do. If you'd like some Blitz Transmissions swag, like this Blitz Transmissions hoodie I have on right now, you can go check out the Blitz Transmissions Armory over on Printify. Link to that is in the description below, as well as links to my Discord and all my social media. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you for the next one, and may the Force be with you.
Breaking off. All units, fire at will. 1-2, pick a target. Too many, Captain. Watch your stabilizer, Gold 6. Anybody cover me. I got 2 vultures on my tail. You've got to hold them here. Watch your left. I can't shake them.